Hi, today we're going to talk about sentences and how to combine them. Part 2.
As a review, a sentence is a complete thought with a subject, what or who is doing or being something, and a predicate, what the subject is doing or being.
One way to improve our writing is to combine short sentences into long ones to show their relationship to each other. Using "and" shows that both of these statements are true.
One way to combine sentences is with a comma followed by and, or, but, or so, like in the example shown previously. Another way is to put a semicolon between the sentences.
A third way is to use other connecting words like because, since, although, and while. These words show a relationship between sentences. Because and since give a reason or explain why.
People read memoirs. People like to learn about other people's lives. Let's combine those sentences using because. People read memoirs because they like to learn about other people's lives. Or because people like to learn about other people's lives, they read memoirs. When because comes in the middle of a sentence, there's no comma. But when because begins a sentence, you put a comma after the clause it introduces.
We could combine the same sentences using since. People read memoirs since they like to learn about other people's lives. No comma when since is used in the middle of a sentence. Since people like to learn about other people's lives, comma, they read memoirs. You use a comma when since is used at the beginning.
Let's look at using although and while to connect sentences. Both indicate a contrast between the sentences. I love eating candy. I hate feeling sick afterwards. We can combine these using although because they're in contrast. I love eating candy, although I hate feeling sick afterwards. Or, although I love eating candy, I hate feeling sick afterwards. In both instances, we use a comma.
While works the same way. I love candy while my sister hates it. While I love candy, my sister hates it. While sets up a contrast between those two statements, and in both instances you use a comma. To review, we can combine sentences with a semicolon, with a comma plus and, or, but, or so, or with other connecting words like because, since, although, and while. Because and since both explain why, although and while show a contrast, and usually we use commas, but you need to go back and review when to use one and when not to, and where to use them.